T7M Radio brings to you the best of 7 sports talk with 7 Mitchell.
Boy, did y'all see Charles Oakley looking like a big-ass gorilla getting moonwalked out of Madison Square Garden the other night? I mean, security, he looked like Michael Jackson in that first row. Unbelievable. Charles Oakley, if you don't sit your old ass down somewhere, we got to talk about this, man. This is crazy. Sports fans, you are now rocking with the best. This is the best of 7 sports talk here on T7M Radio. I'm your host. You already know who it is. It's the Kid 7 Mitchell. Appreciate y'all locking in with us, man. Tonight is the night, Friday night. We putting this thing in lights. KD returns to OKC this weekend. Charles Oakley has just been banned indefinitely from Madison Square Gardens. We got to talk about that. We got to lock and load. We got a little bit of hate coming from Cool Joe Montana when it comes to Tom Brady. We got to talk about that. We got so much in store. Callers, y'all know what time it is. Call up 347-989-8102. Joining me as always, I got my co-host out in Philly, repping hard. We got Raj in the building. Raj, what's poppin', G?
Hey, listen, A7, you know, I got some real interesting news to talk about tonight. I got some real interesting news to talk about tonight.
All right.
As far as NBA, this might shock teams. This might shock some people.
Well, we're going to get into it, man, and let's start with the association in the NBA and probably one of the most talked about stories, definitely, as the last 48 hours. Charles Oakley and the fiasco that happened at Madison Square Garden night before last. Now, according right now to James Dolan, Knicks owner, and according to Madison Square Garden Company, they have fired the security chief, the executive chairman, due to the incident that happened between Charles Oakley. Now, Charles Oakley has now been indefinitely banned from the arena. This move comes 2 days after Oakley was forcibly removed from the Knicks game, and he was also arrested. Now, I'm going to read a couple of comments from James Dolan when it came to Mr. Charles Oakley and what he felt about it. Now, Jim Dolan on Charles Oakley being a menace to the employees at staff for MSG. This is what James Dolan had to say about Mr. Oakley. To me, I think Charles has a problem. I've said it before. We have said it before one time that he is the worst type of problem. People need to sort of understand that. He has a problem with anger. He is both physically and verbally abusive. He may have a problem with alcohol. We don't know. But those behaviors of being physically and verbally abusive, those are personality problems. Now, James Dolan, to the fans who actually blame him for the Knicks losing, he says, ask Phil, plain and simple. So clearly the owner, Dolan, is not trying to take any responsibility on the progression of the Knicks. And Charles Oakley has now been banned for 2 games, it looks like, from MSG. Now, I don't know what to feel about this because, like I said at the top of the show, Charles Oakley looked like a fool. Like he looked like a gorilla breaking out of the zoo in that first row MSG the other night. Like, he was crazy. You too old to be acting a fool like that. I mean, he was going real hard. And, you know, he's going to be banned for 2 games. What do you think about that, Raj? I know you got to see a lot of the clips of what happened. Like, what was your initial thoughts when you seen Oakley go off? And now knowing that he was banned for 2 games now, what's your thoughts?
You know, Oakley's got a problem. We can both see, okay?
Right.
To me personally, okay, he needs to be banned for life.
From Madison Square?
Yes.
He had an interview with Stephen A. Smith, I believe, this morning, and he was asked about, you know, him pushing security. He felt like the security at MSG is not police, so they had no right to tell him that he had to leave. He bought a ticket, but what happened was the security had came up to him and advised him that, you know, he would have to leave because apparently he'd been, you know, his energy was just off that night, even coming into the arena. And he felt like he didn't have to respect them because they wasn't real police. And I mean, he just went off.
I remember him his career in the NBA, okay, vaguely. And to me, he was a troublemaker in the NBA.
Facts. They were bullies. Oakley, Ewing, I believe Xavier McDaniel, those guys were bullies. John Starks, Greg Anthony. Oakley has always been known to be the aggressor, the enforcer. I mean, that's him. But, that's 20 years ago, 20, 25, 30 years ago. Like, he's 50, 60 years old in Madison Square Garden acting like that. I don't know if you deserve the comeback, period. And you show no respect for authority. Like, he was going hard in the paint. I don't know. Now, my Knicks, we're about to face the Denver Nuggets tonight. We 22-32, playing at home against the Denver Nuggets, who now sitting 23-29. I don't know what's up with my boys. Like you said, I don't see us making the playoffs at all. I don't think we have a shot. And my Knicks, the schedule for my Knicks is tough this month. It gets easier the final 2 weeks. But, I will say I expect my New York Knicks to start winning in the final 2 weeks of this game and screw up the draft position, because we always find a way to mess things up. If we're going to have a losing season, let's tank it and get a high draft pick. We'll find a way to screw that up, unfortunately. The game of the week is going down this weekend. We got OKC versus Golden State. KD returning to OKC. Now, the first time these two teams squared off, Raj, more than 3.7 million people watched it on TNT. The Thunder fell off a strong start to the season that they had dropped in the middle of the Western Conference pack by the rematch on January 18th. The Warriors won their first two games against the Thunder by a total of 47 points. This game is definitely the most highly anticipated of Kevin Durant's return. What do you expect to go down this weekend with Durant and the Warriors going into OKC?
Well, me personally, I don't know. I see now. This is crazy. I see Golden State coming in, and to me personally, I don't use this term mop, but I see them mopping the floor with OKC.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I know OKC has had a little bit of success, and Russell Westbrook is on pace to average a triple-double this season, but collectively, like you said, I cannot see these guys competing with Golden State at home or on the road.
But and here's the whole factor that you got to look at. Okay, Westbrook is sticking Curry. Okay, he might be able to stick him. He might not. Okay, but you have to realize this: you still have, which if you stick Curry and stop Curry, that's just going to make, to me personally, Klay Thompson just go off. And everybody knows if Klay goes off, he could kill a team by himself. Then you got, Then you got Durant too.
Golden State are definitely the reality TV star of sports. Kevin Durant even acknowledged that. I think, like you said, this is just going to be a wash this weekend. I think Westbrook is going to try too hard. You know what I mean? He can't do everything against the elite teams, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they haven't had any success already against Golden State. And,
right.
I salute Westbrook for his loyalty, but, it is what it is. I definitely don't see them winning this weekend, though. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with 7 Mitchell callers. Y'all call up 347-989-8102. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the association NBA action, and we also going to chop it up, talk about the NFL. Like I said, we had a little bit of hate in our blood today from Mr. Cool Joe Montana. We're going to go ahead and talk about that more here on the best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. Don't go nowhere.